Hi guys, thank you for coming to speak to me.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Can you introduce yourselves?
Yeah, so I'm Lewis Taylor. I work at AutoWorks HQ, and this is the boss.
And I'm Andy Wells, and I own AutoWorks HQ.
Amazing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day.
Thank you.
How have you found Auto Mechanica?
Oh, really good, to be fair. This is my first time. I missed it last year, but it's just good networking, speaking to different people, getting different perspectives of some people obviously owning businesses, but you all get sort of treated the same, asked a lot of questions, spoke to a lot of people, and it's like seeing people on the social media side of things and then seeing them in person. It's like, oh look, you exist. So yeah, really good, to be
Who
fair.
have you seen?
We've seen Baz Meredith, and he come up to us and spoke to me, and he was like, I think called us Pinky and Perky. And I was like, it's actually Anton Deck. But no, it was just good to have a good chat. Like, he just comes up to us, so yeah, it was really good.
Amazing. So you're on Ben's stand.
Yes.
Why is Ben so important to you guys?
Obviously, Ben's important for me now because I think all the guys now that work for us, or guys and girls that work for us now, they need that outside support. So obviously, when things get hard or get tough, my wife Stacey will always agree that I'm probably not the most emotional person in the world. I sort of very clear-cut, black and blue. But yeah, so for us now, Ben helps our staff. And obviously we try and help Ben now as much as we can because we know it's a great cause. You know, it helped me a couple of years ago. I just hit like a little bit of a rough patch, and I think I just needed some independent outside advice to sort of help me just move on, get a clearer picture, get a plan together and move on.
Yeah.
And then obviously our employees now and our technicians, so Lewis has come from Ford main dealer, so 8 years there. You know, they're not really that supportive and don't use the charity.
There was
and then
nothing much, was there?
obviously he does a lot of stuff now with regards to mental health, especially in the younger generation, which I think is well needed.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously I come from main dealer. There wasn't no support, so 8 years stuck in a dealership on your own. It's you and nobody else, and it's sort of survival of the fittest kind of thing. That's what I felt. And then obviously coming to AutoWorks, the best thing what I found out was I didn't have to speak to Ben directly, so Andy passed it sort of onto me. He already knew his knowledge and passed it on to me, which was great. And then it sort of sparked something inside of me. I thought, actually, there's maybe nothing for my age group, especially the 16 to 25 year olds. It's a lot to speak out about your mental health, and that's what I used to struggle with. And I think engaging with people like Andy, who you see as more like a family member than anything now working there, I decided to set up a page about how the gym and how people can use the gym and utilise the gym to almost get rid of your mental health. I mean, we all go for the gym for the same reason, and that's to look better and feel better. And if I can feel better at work, I can feel better outside of work. So yeah, it's called Lifting Mind, so it's all about uplifting your mind whilst lifting weights in the gym as well.
Cool. Everyone like and follow.
Yeah.
So what, in terms of your journey, Andy, how did you come about Ben? How did you find out about Ben?
I think it was these sort of events. It was like I tend to sort of, I thought I was on my own. You know, garage owner, garage don't tend to support garages. But I think when you start becoming part of different communities and community and networks, you start coming to the events, you see the same faces, you know, you start to break down those sort of bridges and start talking to people that you see in like a stardom light. And I think going to them and obviously seeing to Ben, just chatting to people from Ben, the staff at these events, Auto Mechanica and stuff. So this, I think, is my 6th year coming now. And it's just mega. I love coming, I love seeing all the staff, I love seeing all the different garages and stuff that help us out. You know, we are like a massive community now, and that's what I think is what it's all about. Yeah. That's what it needs to be now, like it needs to be a community.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hard job. People think it's easy and stuff, it's not. We need to be able to help and support each other in every single way possible.
Yeah, 100%. I can vouch for that as well. I think it's good, Andy being his age. So I found a statistic online, and it was basically 40 to 50 year olds in most cases of men's mental health and suicide. That was the age bracket. And I think if I can give back something who's my age and I can pick up something from Andy, it's quite scary to think that a lot of people like that are parents as well, and they've got a lot of people to leave behind, and thinking that is the only way to solve their mental health problems is crazy. So even talking to Ben, I know it's the charity that I think everyone needs in their life, whether you're in the automotive trade or not. It's certainly helped me out, it's certainly helped Andy out, and we are two people who have been there, you've suffered, and now it's so easy to just pick up the phone or go on the app or anything like that and just to have an outsource to speak to. I think it's really great.
We've done a lot around the show this time around, making the stats really visible, and trying to start conversations. They're uncomfortable, and a lot of people have come and said, like, they've made them have feelings that they didn't know they would by reading the signs, or they've had quite an impact. How important is it that we talk about things like 2 people a week in the industry will die by suicide?
Yeah, I think it's pretty scary. I mean, there's a lot of people that they're not quite in touch with inside of their emotions, and I think when you see it in writing, you sort of, it hits you and you're like, oh, okay, I've felt like that, or I've sort of been through that. And then when you see it, it makes you feel like you're not alone, and that you feel like other people that are there and they are existing. I think it's really important to read statistics. It is great for, not for yourself, but to bring a certain side out of you that it isn't, like, is approachable and can come and speak to people like Ben.
Start the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to read.
That's the hardest part.
Like, when you look at the statistics, that's hard to read. But I think then it's probably hitting home to people now how important something like Ben is to people now. Like, do you mean everybody thinks they're on their own and there isn't anybody out there now? Do you mean they're literally a phone call, text message, online chat. Just, they're so close and so easy to reach now. It would be, people would be stupid not to contact them. Like, it's that soundboard, isn't it? It's having somebody that's probably isn't related, doesn't know anything about, like, the business side of things. So for me now, like, obviously, you always think you're going to be judged by people. Like, they're going to look in and judge you. Where obviously someone from Ben isn't going to do that, because they just look at you.
You know what it is as well? Like, I feel like social media is such a big part. You sort of look at all these social media influencers and like, oh, well, I want that life. And 9 times out of 10, no one's life is like that. You're here, you're living for now. And I think if you can relate to someone who's been through something, as you said, you might not even know who they are on Ben. And that's the greatest thing, because, as you said, you don't feel like you're being judged. You can just be honest on a phone call, and you feel like they can just give you advice, or not even give them their personal experiences, just give you that advice to give you something back, just to start the ball rolling. I think that is the hardest part, especially going back to the statistics. I think once you get that initial go, I think it's all go from there, especially with your mental health. It's just the initial, not owning up, but coming to the conclusion that you have got something deep down inside.
A lot of people say that first picking up the phone is the hardest bit.
Yeah.
And I think we hear all the time people come and say, I wish I'd done it earlier. Like, it felt like such a mountain to overcome, just picking up that initial phone call. Like, you've both expressed that journey. Was that your experience? Like, that initial
for
bit
me
was the
now.
hardest?
So I wouldn't say suffered in silence, but as men, they say now, as men now, you sort of hold a lot more in. You give that great exterior, that it's all the big I am and stuff like that now. And I think for me, over it was probably over a 12-month period, I could just feel I was just struggling, and I literally did feel like I was on my own. Like, I don't want to always discuss those things with my wife or my family, because I don't want to add the stress to them.
Yeah.
So, but for me, I think it was an event. I can't remember what event it was. It was an event I'd gone to. I spoke to Sarah at one of those events, and she was like, "Do you know what? Just drop the team an email." And I think it was it was a Christmas period, obviously, where we shut down at Christmas. So it was a lot of time where it was, I'd got a lot of time to think about, sit around and mull on stuff too much. It's a Christmas down period, so I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to write this email while I'm here. Yeah, and obviously one of the outreach workers, or the workers, obviously got in touch with me, spoke to me over the phone, spent about an hour and so on the phone, then put like a little bit of a plan in place. So yeah, it was like really, really easy. You've just got to take that leap of faith.
Yeah, I think that's where, like, Andy sort of come in with me as well. Like, I've released a video, and Andy messaged me the one night out of his kindness of his own heart and said, why don't you just speak to him? And I'm still yet to be. I'm sitting here talking now. It's all about giving it out, but I think once I make that initial move, I think it'll be the best thing I've ever done. I live by a sort of saying that I created myself, and it was, I don't see it as a weakness that you can talk out. I see it as a strength. If you can man up and own yourself and own what your problems are, I really see it as a strength, Ida.
Yeah. So I think it's really key for us that we highlight that the helpline and all of our services are totally confidential. So your employer will never find out, and the team that you meet out and about, we don't know if you've done it. We can refer you in, and you can come and tell us your story, but that helpline side to Ben is 100% confidential. So for you guys to share your story with us is amazing. We really appreciate
Thank
it
you.
because I think you've both expressed like recognizing those things in other people when they've spoken about it has helped you. So by doing this, we're really grateful because you're helping others. So thank
I think
you.
the greatest thing is we've got two people with two different backgrounds, two different ages, and we're both literally here for the same reason. And it's so nice to be able to relate to someone like Andy, who sort of I aspire to be. He's been there, done it, and I'm upcoming. And then now, obviously, introducing me to stuff like this, I think it's really great.
Amazing. Any last words for anyone?
No, just keep doing the amazing job that you're doing. Keep supporting all of us that are in the automotive trade. Just keep doing a wicked job. It is awesome.
100%.
Thank you. Thanks so much,
you very
guys.
No worries. Thank you very much.